I want to deal with a particular matter which I regard as very important and which our party has discussed already at the executive level. And that has to do with our diaspora. And I want to spend a little time on this issue of the diaspora. In recent times, in recent years in particular, I've heard more and more about the garifuna and their commitment, drink some water. Yeah, and their commitment to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, which they call Urumi. As I deepened my knowledge in this area, I became more and more convinced that we cannot ignore. We in St. Vincent and the Grenadines cannot ignore or take for granted this matter. We must address it. Approximately 218 years ago, the British ill-treated and exiled a lot of people who are now called garifuna. They were first sent to Baliso, where many of them died. They were then exiled to Roatan in Honduras. More of that happened. And that was never part of our history that we learned at school. And therefore many people were not aware over the centuries of the extent and the despicable nature of what took place. Today, based on some figures I have seen, that 5,000 who survived Baliso now number probably in excess of 700,000 people. Think about that. Think about that. That 5,000 people who left Baliso, 218 years later, now number probably in excess of 700,000. But they are from St. Vincent. That is the fundamental issue. They are from St. Vincent. And having gone to Honduras, also went to other countries in that area, Belize and so forth, and a number of them are now here in the United States. Some 400,000 or so. For me, they are natural diaspora. That's how I see it. I believe that this is a remarkable story. That 5,000 people can leave what was basically before they got their uninhabited island. And since 1797, be exiled. And that 5,000 people has now come to 700,000. It's a remarkable story of grit and determination. A remarkable story because today many of them are professionals in different parts of the world. Many of them have done well. Many of them have done very well. As a group, they are very successful. But what is most remarkable to me, and I have spoken to some, even some of those who are here with us tonight, I have spoken and I got an understanding of the depth of feeling and the emotions that are involved. I spoke to a young man I met in St. Vincent some weeks ago who told me that he remembers his grandparents pulling them together as a group to talk about Urumi, their homeland. their fatherland, their motherland, whatever you want to call it. Conscience. The situation to continue as is. And this needs serious governmental action. They have relations with the United Nations and so forth. And all these things have to be examined. I expect the New Democratic Party to win the next election. And I say here tonight, I declare here tonight, that having won, I will take the first step by making all the garifuna honorary citizens of St. Vincent the Grenadines. This I have given much thought to, and that is just the first step. Over time, in consultation with our brothers and sisters, we can refine our program to bring them ever closer to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I also want to say this, that I have not made this statement public before, but I expect because we have indicated that we are discussing this issue, there are those naysayers who say it can't be done and it won't be done, but it will be done. I heard an individual who heard us talking about garifuna, and his attitude was this. If we do anything for them, it will become a drain on our economy. There's a old saying, where ignorance is bliss, is folly to be wise. I will say this. While we reach out to the garifuna today, it could turn out that they make the most marvelous contribution to the development of the St. Vincent the Grenadines economy. I recognize that here is a population far greater than our own in St. Vincent the Grenadines, far greater than our own and our diaspora here in the United States, and that there's no way that they will pull us down. They can only build us up. You hear talk about Cuba because they reproach me with the United States and Cuba, that Cuban tourism will wipe us out in the Caribbean because they will do so well. But the garifuna can be tourists too. 700,000 of them. And where they'll come first? St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We have to come to the stage where we look at the garifuna in that light as also as persons doing business in St. Vincent and the Grenadines with assistance from us, which will help our economy to grow. And at the same time, goods that are produced in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and delivered elsewhere, they may buy also for us if we set up businesses that export to them. All these are within the realm of possibility. So when I hear those kind of statements, I let them pass. They're based on idiocy. So tonight I say to the garifuna, welcome home. We have stated our positions tonight, and we will stand by it. I don't want to leave off the diaspora yet. I believe it's very critical for us. If you look at this in a very logical sense, you have 100 and something thousand people in St. Vincent. In this area alone, in the United States, you have another nearly 200,000 Vincentians. In Canada, you probably have another 100,000. United Kingdom, same thing. You know what we're talking about? We're talking about St. Vincent and the Grenadines and 1 million people. That's what in fact we're talking about, You think the possibility exists in relation to 1 million people as our own. That's what we're talking about. So let us not slight this matter. It is a fundamental matter of the heart. It's also fundamental to the economy of the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Let us not be set off by some of the trivial crap I hear being spoken from time to time. We have a job to do. We have taken the first step, and we will continue to do what is necessary to ensure that the name Urumeme has some meaning. We'll continue to do that. I promise you that, I promise you that on behalf of our party. The rest of the diaspora, we are going to be making a proposal in our manifesto, which will now apply to the garifuna also. We wish to change the nature of all our embassies in the United States, Canada, and Britain. We don't want, I'm not interested in any mission if its own responsibility is to deal with consular affairs. Missions must bring business to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and therefore must be staffed accordingly. We have young men and women in public service in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, trained in trade and investment, who should be out here working, not in St. Vincent, trying to attract business in St. Vincent and provide for some of our people who want to send goods up here to service. It's a two-way trade you're looking at. And those are of economic benefit to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So while passports and so on are critical, I want us to ensure, and we will do that our mission structure is transformed. So apart from their consular responsibilities, they'll be paid, the staff, they'll be paid to bring business, attract trade, attract foreign investment. So we see endless possibilities in this regard. So let us not take a myopic vision. Let us look at it in all its aspects and make the decisions that are necessary to provide for better living for all of us. Talk long enough.